Hey everybody, this is Deanne here at the Early Learning Center, coming to you to talk about mindfulness and talk about our guard dogs in action. So today I want to talk to you just a little bit about the guard dog again on our brain, and it comes actually here from these two parts we call the amygdala. And last time when I talked to you, we talked about how deep breathing is a way that we can try to get cortisol levels to come down. And so I wanted to talk to you just briefly a little bit more about that today. As I'm walking here in the ELC in the Early Learning Center and meeting with families, I have children coming by and saying, "Hey, I know how to get my guard dog to calm down," and they'll start to breathe for me. Now, you may see them do that at home, you may not, but you may see that they are not really able to do it quite yet. This is all about practice. It takes practice to be able to get the brain to calm down. So why does deep breathing work? I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about that today. When our guard dog or our amygdala gets upset, we actually we have a neurotransmitter of cortisol that floods our brains, and that is what stops our thinking and makes us feel like fleeing or fighting or whatever it is that we feel like we want to do. And so as we have all of that flood our brains, we can no longer think. And so it takes practice then to use breathing. So when we do deep breathing, hold it. It actually stimulates what we call the vagal nerve in the brain, and that nerve, when it's stimulated, actually releases a neurotransmitter that reduces, it's a chemical that reduces the cortisol in our brain. So it actually, when that new neurotransmitter floods our brain, it actually does several things. It calms us. We all of a sudden feel calm. It lowers our anxiety. So if you are a person, or if your child seems to be a person that has extra amounts of anxiety, this is something that can help you, because it actually releases a chemical in your brain that will help decrease that anxiety. It also then allows those neurons in your brain to be able to actually grow bigger. So deep breathing can literally spark brain growth as it sparks our ability to think. So it seems like this old cliche of take a deep breath. And if you tell a child, take a deep breath, they're most likely just going to get more upset. But instead, if you model it to them on a regular basis, and show them that you are able to try to calm down the cortisol in your brain, and that you are able to think. So let's take this for example. One of the examples I give the children in the classroom is, let's say you're on the playground and you and another friend get to the swing at the very same time, and immediately you can see some children get very upset because they wanted it first, or I was here first. You can actually see their brains get very upset and frustrated. And so we're trying to teach them that that's okay, that's normal to have those kinds of feelings, but that we can stop, take a breath, so that we don't just push a friend or yell at a friend or grab it out of their hands, but instead we can stop and then think. The same thing happens with us as parents. I don't know about you, but I have two children at home, and sometimes they push my buttons and I get upset, and my cortisol level goes up from my guard dog or my amygdala. And I am trying to train myself to stop, take a breath for a few seconds before I respond. Because if I immediately respond, sometimes it's a reaction, and I may yell, I may, say something not very nice to my children. I may just force them into timeout, rather than really just taking a breath and thoughtfully considering how I want to respond to my kids. So I want to encourage you today. It is normal. all of our children have their buttons pushed and their amygdalas will respond. Their guard dogs will respond in a negative way, create a bunch of cortisol. That's normal. It's normal for us as parents as well. And so as we acknowledge that and we realize that deep breathing, or maybe taking a walk, or taking a drink, or something like that of water quickly can help us to calm that down and be able to stop and think and respond. So I hope you guys are having a great week, and that we here with Building Brickies and the School City of Hobart and the Early Learning Center just want to be an encouragement to you. And as we're trying to learn more and more as parent educators and as teachers and principals and all the people who work with your children all day long, we're trying to learn how to be mindful ourselves, and are encouraging you to learn right along with us. So feel free to contact us with any questions you may have, or any thoughts or anything that maybe you're learning or is happening at home. We'd love to hear from you. All right, take care now. Have a great week.